Hello, everyone. Uh, I just finished another book called Candide or Optimism, written by Voltaire. Voltaire is a French writer, and this is the translated version in English. Well, basically, what this book is about is that this one individual who was a born who had a noble birth gets kicked out of his castle at a young age and goes through all these vicissitudes of life. Yeah, all kinds. Like it's quite surprising how the how the life could be so easily, the fortune of a life could be so easily earned or gained, and at the same time, or and like a second after, it's lost and they then earned again or gained again and then lost again, just continuous repeats of losing it, gaining it, losing it, and gaining it. And yeah, I think this Voltaire quite sums it up within about 90 pages of what life could be, life of extreme and very dynamic, drastic changes can be. Um, yeah, few few remarks. A few impressions I had of the book is that one of them was the cultivation at the end of the book. So basically, what Voltaire is saying is all these ranks and fortunes, wealth boils down to really something that's easily, it just comes and goes easily. That's what he means. And when you are so lavished with wealth and rank, your life will become bored, I guess. Or even if you don't have ranks and fortune, but if you're deprived of misery of life, it also becomes boring. So basically, the book ends by saying that you need a bit of work to to have yourself engaged, which will free you from boredom. So it seems like he recommends gardening and farming. Yeah, basically the cultivation of earth is what he recommends, which I think, which in my translation, in my interpretation of the book is that you can also cultivate your brain by plowing your brain with foreign languages, and there is certain sense of achievement, sense of contentment that comes with it as you cultivate uh, your seed of intellect, I guess, or your earth of intellect. Yeah. The translation was pretty straightforward. I know the notes of the translator says that it was quite, he did his best, he or she did his or her best to translate the rhyming, the rhythm, and I don't know, or cadence of Voltaire's writing, but I didn't notice any, I didn't notice much of a distinguishing cadence or a rhyme in the writing, or at least the translated version of it. So yeah, it was just quite straightforward, modern uh, sense to it. It was just, yeah, it was just a modern translation of English. Anyway, and another thing I noticed from the book was that Voltaire was quite critical about all these esteemed works of literature. Like, for example, I think he goes after Milton's poem and how he mocks it basically, in a very satirical way. And I think that that kind of attitude is, instead of just blindly taking those so-called works of greats, instead of taking those as just works of greats, you kind of have to read it yourself and how you digest it, how you see it in your own unique way, and see if it really is worthy to be called great to yourself, instead of just taking it and taking all these so-called ancient scholars' opinion and kind of shoving it up to your I guess own estimation, right? Instead of kind of carefully, meticulously reading it and being able to come up with your own evaluation of the so-called great works. So I like that part very much. I think, and following that, I think his work of basically this optimism or candid, um, it's written in a very, I think, I'm not sure if really all these could happen within a person's life, because there are so many punishments that the heroine goes through, so many wealth he ended up acquiring just to lose it all or be stolen of it. So I don't know. I'm not sure if the life at the 1700s could be so dynamic and so worldwide. If it could be so, I'm really impressed how people could roam around the world like that within a span of probably 50s. No, not even 50, because you start having your own thoughts. You start consider your you start have like your own self-conscious, legitimate self-conscious. I don't know, at least past 14, 13, 12, right? And then you get old, you kind of lose all that ambulating capacity of your physical faculty by the time of 50 or 60. So you have about 40 years of span of your life that can be used, that can be exhausted to explore the world and fortunes and misfortunes of it. Um, yeah, if it could have been done as described in the book, I'm very impressed, because I'm almost 39 and I haven't had such much of misfortunes or fortunes yet. Or maybe it is to come. I don't know, man. Anyway, Voltaire kind of really speeds through all those events as though, I don't know. I feel like there's like an effort of him try, trying to speed things up a little too fast. Right? All that happened within 90 pages of it. And Moby Dick fucking, what, I think the journey of the Pequod, this ship, was only about 3 or 5 years or whatever. But then this was, oh, I don't know, I forgot how long the whole journey took within the life of the heroine, but he travels a lot. He almost covers half of the earth. Like he starts off from somewhere in the Europe, travels all down to northern Africa, also goes to, and then goes to South America, back to England, back to the middle of Europe. I mean, he crosses half of the Atlantic Ocean and a few continents within the span of, I don't know, a few years almost, because he's still farming at the end of the book, right? Anyway, yeah, at the end, it's just better to be contented, whatever the circumstances that you are surrounded with, and engage yourself with daily work, whether that be petty or great, whatever, just something that provokes your curiosity, your diligence, your your arduous, something that provokes the arduous nature of yours. That's the kind of work one should be engaged in, so to make one's life somewhat content, if not worthy by the estimation of the people around you or the peers, but at least for yourself. Yeah. And I think it could be plowing the field, actual plowing the field, but also I think one could also plow one's intellect um, by all these subjects. I guess what I'm trying to say is that because works of scholar could be also somewhat has somewhat a similar uh, uh, similar nature to the works of farmers, playing the field. So yep, in my case, I guess since I'm kind of looking forward to grad school in here in South Korea, which requires me to study third language. I have my first language is Korean, my second English. And if I get to this grad school, if I go to this grad school, I'm gonna have to study for a third. And I guess, yeah, this book kind of gave me that lesson or that impression, that teaching that third language may not be so bad. Because it took me it was a dreading experience to acquire English, so I was kind of afraid. I wasn't too sure about to go after third, especially um, dictated by another academic institution. But we'll see. Right now, I'm going to try to remain optimistic about going after the third language, but we'll see how I end up concluded or decide upon it. Thank you for listening. Bye.